Okay. We're going to talk about negative exponents. Let's get right into it. Whenever you have negative exponents, we've been on this journey trying to figure out exponents. Whenever you have a negative exponent, you can actually flip it to the other side of the fraction to make it positive. So I'm going to say throughout my class, if you don't have my class, then you're not going to hear it a lot, but what I say is flip it, make it positive. Flip it, make it positive. Flip it, make it positive. So what I mean by that is if you have a negative exponent, so we already have negative 3 exponent, you can take this term, or this factor I should say, we can take this factor and we can write it 1 over 4 to the positive 3. So I flip it to the other side of the fraction to make it positive. And then we evaluate. 1 over 64. Okay? So if you're looking at number 2, I would do 6 to the negative 2 is equal to 1 over 6 to the 2. Flip it, make it positive. Which is equal to 1 over 36. Okay? Now sometimes you have something that looks like this. So it gets a little bit more complicated. What I always tell my students is you should do the power rule here. So we could take that negative 1 and apply it to both numbers. So give us 7 to the negative 1 over 2 to the negative 1. And then we flip it, make it positive. 2 to the 1 over 7 to the 1, which is equal to 2 over 7. Okay, you could also do that from here. You can go 2 over 7 to the 1. That's a little math trick, which is just equal to 2 over 7. Let's jump to number 6 here. 4 and 5 are the same on this homework assignment. Okay, so number 6, we have negative 6 to the negative 2. What you're going to do here is you're going to take this factor, which is negative 6. We're going to flip it to the bottom to make the exponent positive. Flip it, make it positive. Negative 6 to the power of 2 is 36. Okay, real quickly, if you have a question that has a negative 1 here, or even a negative 3, you do it the same way. You flip it, make it positive, but negative 5 to the 1 is negative 5. So here you have a positive answer because of the even exponent. We've talked about this before. An odd exponent will keep the negative base negative. Okay, now is where we need to talk about factors. We've talked about factors before, especially if you're in my class, you hear that word all the time. 4 is a factor, and z to the negative 2 is a factor. I always ask the question, what is the exponent touching? The exponent is touching the z. It's not touching the 4. So this factor needs to get flipped to make the exponent positive. So this will equal z to the 2 over 4. And then a lot of students say, wait a minute, what happened to the 1? Well, if 1 is a factor, we never really write a 1 in front of another factor. Because anything times 1 is itself. So this would be our answer. We flip it, make it positive. Okay, same thing here. We have 2z to the negative 5. So the 2 will stay on top. We'll go z to the 5. Flip it, make it positive. You don't flip the 2. You don't flip the 2. Because what is the exponent touching? It's touching the z. 2 is a factor in and of itself. Okay, flip it, make it positive. Let me do this one fast. Done. You flip it, make it positive. Notice the 9, negative 9 on the bottom, we flipped it to the top. Negative 7 on the top, flipped it to the bottom. Okay, number 11. Okay, I'm going to write it from here because it's a little bit, a lot to write. So the 4 and the 2 are going to stay where they're at. Okay, b to the negative 3 will go to the bottom, flip it, make it positive. A to the negative 1 go to the top. A to the negative 9 will go to the bottom, as a to the 9. B to the 7 will stay on the bottom because it's already positive. We wouldn't want to flip it if it's already positive. So now these cancel to get 8 on the bottom. These cancel to get 2 on top. So we get 2 over a to the 8, b to the 10. If you're confused about that part, you have 3 b's here, 7 b's here, makes 10 b's total. That's the product rule. Product rule. Okay, I'll skip this one. Actually, no, I will talk about this one quickly. So, real quick, the 5's on top, factor of 5, and the factor of 30 is on the bottom. So that's going to get you 1 over 6 when you simplify that. And then you have to do the rest with your letters and your exponents. But a lot of people put the 6 on top on accident. If the 30 is on the bottom and 5's on top, like this, that's equal to 1 over 6. Not 6. Okay? A lot of people making mistakes like that on their tests, so I thought I would just clear it up. Okay. General rule of thumb, I tell my students, power rule first. Because the power rule is really powerful. If you have y to the negative 6 power, all to the power of negative 5, I would do the power rule first. You get y to the 30. And then you're done, because this is already positive. Right? So a lot of people want to flip it and flip, 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 flop, flip, flip, flip that, flip, flip, flip this. You don't want to do that. You want to do the power rule first, because look how powerful it is. Power rule is powerful. Same thing, power rule first. Now we have to flip it, make it positive. Boom. Okay, power rule first. If you don't know the power rule, you're going to have to go back and review it on a different video. Okay, flip it, make it positive. All right, we get b to the 20 over a to the 15. And then the c's will be on top. C's to the 45. Okay, a little wonky there, sorry. There we go. All right. What did I do? I made that negative to the top, that made 45. I made that negative to the top, that made 20. That negative went to the bottom all by itself. Okay, last one. Power rule first. Power rule first. So this will equal 8, x to the negative 3, y to the negative 12, x to the 12, y to the 10. That's why we do the power rule first. Flip it, make it positive. We get 8 on top, x to the 15, y to the 22. I'm skipping the product rule. So I'm taking these negatives and taking them to the bottom and adding them with the 12. You can only do that if that's negative. So listen. If you're confused about the quotient rule, you got to go back to the previous video. All right, hope this helps. Thanks, guys.